Good evening, and thank you, Secretary of State. We know you have and are listening to us. And let's hope we all hear the voices of those people who are worried about their futures tonight. May I add my welcome to the SMMT Annual Dinner for the first time as your President. I've been in office since the 1st of January, more than twice as long as Keir Starmer's been in number 10. But so far for me, not even a free cufflink, let alone a free suit. Perhaps it's just a case of Taylor slow rather than Taylor Swift. But mind you, on the plus side, at least I haven't had to go and watch Arsenal play. My own company, Adient, like the SMMT, is of course politically neutral. Although I'm told since the election we've had a lot of interest from Conservative politicians. Now, we do make the safest car seats in the industry, but I'm not quite sure that's what they're looking for. The Prime Minister says that his government is one of service and mission. Perhaps then our annual dinner, here together tonight, is a moment when we as an industry can reflect on our service and our mission, as well as a moment to celebrate each other and our achievements. In our own ways, since the inception of our industry, we have all striven to provide world-class service to our customers. Our mission may have evolved over the years, but producing world-class products and services has always been our aim. In recent decades, we've had a new mission: to transition from the internal combustion engine, which has served us so well, to electric vehicles. We are an important part of the world's response to climate change, to manage the move to net zero. Targets have been set for us, tough targets. But in truth, we as an industry can be proud that we have been ahead of the game. Indeed, many of us anticipated this change. What was a challenge to our industry is in fact a tremendous opportunity. But to make the best of it, the government must join with us in partnership. This government says growth is its #1 priority. Well, here's some more numbers to think about. With the right conditions, we, the automotive sector, can provide £50 billion of green growth to the UK economy. £50 billion. With the right conditions, a new industrial revolution that sustains near on 1 million highly paid, highly skilled jobs for our people in every corner of the United Kingdom. Nothing less than a fully developed industrial strategy with automotive manufacturing at its heart can create the right conditions to grasp these opportunities. Last month, the government made a decent start with their green paper. At least they got the colour right. But with these things, they say the devil is in the detail. Well, we want to work with government to put some devil in the detail. Devil that delivers. Their green paper is called Invest 2035. We wanted to take on everything we put in our strategy document, Vision 2035, in terms of removing barriers to growth, in terms of access to skills and talent, in terms of finance, infrastructure, and planning. Secretary of State, we need an industrial strategy that does what it says on the tin. We need that to enable us to grasp the prize of £50 billion of growth. We do indeed welcome the start the Chancellor has made by confirming the £2 billion of automotive transformation funding. But there is so much more to do. The Prime Minister will know that while leaders must lead, you cannot get too far ahead of those you wish to follow you. We have taken a lead in the new technologies required to meet net zero. But the markets show we are far too far ahead of our customers. There is not the demand we need to meet the targets we must meet, not just as a sector, but as a society. We may be ready for net zero, but the buying public are not yet ready in sufficient numbers, and we cannot make them ready on our own. We need private buyers to be given the fiscal incentives to make the change now. As with any new technology, we've gone through the phase of enthusiastic early adopters. Now, we have reached the plateau in adoption we all knew would come. What has not come is the fiscal offer which will move the market off this plateau. Private buyers need incentives to change. And whatever charge that puts on the public purse will be worth it. And that is not the only charge we need. This government is rightly proud of the £63 billion of inward investment they raised at last month's international summit. A substantial slice of that must be used to create the demand, to build the charging infrastructure, and to create the skilled service and repair networks this country needs for vehicles of all shapes and sizes. Secretary of State, we want to work in partnership with the government. Our actions as an industry match our ambitions. We need the government's actions to match the ambitions they have set for us and for themselves. And those actions and ambitions do not stop at our borders. We need a free market to thrive. The government must resist protectionism from the US to China. Free trade must be fair trade. Businesses want fair competition. Consumers want choice. Everyone wants innovation. So give us the tools to compete, the market strategy, the industrial strategy, the export strategy. Be at our backs if there's any hint of unfair competition or distortion. In a trade war, nobody wins. For all of these challenges that we face together, this is an exciting time to be involved in our industry. In truth, I have always found our industry exciting, right from day one. The incredible challenges you face that make you stronger, the caliber of the people that you work with that inspire you, and an endless supply of the drug of choice. For let's face it, in this room, we're all adrenaline junkies. When I left University College Dublin in 1987, proudly clutching my engineering degree, I also left Ireland for a job here in the UK with Ford Motor Company. I remember telling my mother, it will only be for a few years and I'll be back. Keep the kettle on for me, I said. That, my friends, was 37 years ago last month. Now, there's a Christmas idea. She must need a new kettle by now. Who in 1987 would have predicted where we are today? Well, in 1987, Bill Gates did say we would have flat panel displays, voice recognition software, and the ability to access information at the touch of a button. Also, famously in 1987, the night before the great storm that blew down 15 million trees across these islands, the BBC's Michael Fish predicted that no hurricane tomorrow, but a bit windy in Spain. I'm afraid, friends, my powers of prediction are closer to Michael Fish than to Bill Gates. I certainly would not have predicted in 1987 that I would have the enormous privilege of standing here tonight in front of the finest automotive talent in the world as president of the SMMT when we are on the cusp of the greatest revolution in our industry since it began. Colleagues, it is a privilege to be in this industry, a privilege to be here tonight. We all know that times are tough, and for many today, it is particularly tough. But I wish you all the best for this evening, and I still predict a great future for us all, one I know we can build with the government in partnership together. Thank you.